Blessed risings, good morning. Whatever you gotta say to yourself to get yourself up and moving. We have 2 months until we are into the new decade of 2020 through 2030. And it's a really big deal. Many people don't realize how big of a deal it is. Some people don't probably care, but for me, I care because it's a new transition. It's a new time frame that's coming upon us. Give me a minute. I gotta sit this because I don't like coffee. It's not gonna work. It's a new time frame that's coming upon us, and for me personally, I was sitting last night and I was thinking, right? I was like, where was I 10 years ago? I was reviewing the last 10 years of my life, the things that I had been through, the lessons that I was learning the last 10 years, just everything all around. And I'll use myself as a personal example. For the past 10 years, I have been taking major losses, just like many of you. For the past 10 years, I have been learning major lessons that have placed me into the position where I am today, where I have so much strength, so much courage, so much drive, and I've fallen in love with who I am today. And 10 years ago, I was nowhere near who I am today. Sucks to say that it took me 10 years to get here, but it is what it is. I'm not going to complain about the journey that I endured to get to where I am, because I love who I am and I love my experiences and I love what I've been through. No matter what I've lost, no matter what I've been through, it's all helped me to get to who I am today. So with that being said, I really wanted to make a video to encourage you to take a look back at the past 10 years of your life. From 2010 to now, actually. You can wait until December or January, but I encourage you to do it right now, just so that you can be able to see the blessings in everything that has happened for you instead of to you. Because like I say, life doesn't happen to you, life happens for you. Everything happens for a reason. Everything is orchestrated, designed for you to become the best version of yourself. This is something that I truly believe. You don't have to believe it. If you don't want to do it, you don't have to. But this is something that I live by. This is how I operate. This is how I move in this world. This is how I've come to move in this world. So I've taken a step back, and I've looked back at the past 10 years, and it's been a journey. I've taken major losses more than I've taken major wins, but if I actually sit back, well, I'm not going to say I took major losses. If someone on the outside would say that I've taken major losses more than I've taken in major wins. However, I would like to say that I've learned major lessons so that it can propel me into this new decade that's coming up. This new decade that's coming up is set to be so monumental for many of us. It's set to be so life-changing for many individuals, because I truly believe that this new decade is going to bring in more positive energy. The past 10 years, I feel, were coming out of cycles that were no longer becoming of who we are set to be. The past 10 years have been very troubling, have been very trying for many individuals. It's been rough, to say the least. It's been rough. But if you can take a minute to look back and see, everything that you've been through the past 10 years, all of the lessons that you've been able to learn, all of the things that have been able to build you up to become stronger, to become wiser, to become more independent, to push you to become the best version of yourself, then you can be aware of what is set to happen for the next decade that is coming. I'm sorry, this thing is shaking. This thing is like bullshit. I don't feel like holding it. It's what is my knee? Somebody gonna probably say something about my knees, but let me tell you something. These knees are the effects of rough housing coming up as a child. Many people don't have knees like this because they were so pampered and shit like that. Let me tell you something. I was out there scraping my knees on bikes, getting my ass dragged across concrete, I was a thug with it. I was a thug with it. Not really a thug. No, I'm not really a thug. But nonetheless, I really wanted to make this video so that people can be aware, so that you can take a minute to take a step back and just look at all of the things that happened for you instead of to you for the past 10 years, so that this new decade that's coming in, you can be ready. You can be able to appreciate the blessings more that are set to come into your life, that are set to make you a better person. Now, I do want to make a note. You cannot propel, you cannot move forward, you cannot thrive, you cannot succeed if you are not willing to forgive. And when I say that, because I hear it so much, I've been asked this before myself. You know, how do you forgive certain people or situations where you feel you've been wronged by, where you feel there was no justice? First and foremost, because someone needs to hear this, because I needed to hear it for myself. Forgiveness, as we all know, is not for anyone else but yourself. So, and this is just my personal beliefs. Everyone has their own beliefs. But for me personally, forgiveness starts with you and forgiveness ends with you. Some people already know this. Some people believe in this as well. You don't need to forgive anyone or anything for whatever happened to you in your life. You always have a choice at the end of the day to move and operate how you so choose. So you cannot place blame on any person, any circumstance for you being in a state of lack, for you being in a state of not living your best life, being the best version of yourself, or being where you feel that you should be. Like I said, everything happens for a reason, you know? And I once used to say that you can't miss out on your blessings. However, that is not true. You can miss out on your blessings. You can miss out on your blessings by choosing not to forgive. You can miss out on your blessings by choosing not to grow. You can miss out on your blessings by choosing to stay in toxic and negative situations or surrounding yourself with toxic and negative energies. Understanding this, removing yourself from these situations can help you then become or go wherever it is that you need to go. So if you're in a situation where you feel, you know, you don't know how to forgive, I'll give you a little piece of advice. First and foremost, forgive yourself. That's first, foremost, and that's the end of it. Forgive yourself for allowing yourself to entertain energies, entertain situations, people that you know are not of your best, are not for your greater good. And the reason I say you know is because ultimately when you're dibbling and dabbling in things that you know aren't good for you, at some point something hits you where it's like, this isn't good for me, you know? This is not something that is helping me become, or this is not something that's helping me go to where it is that I want to go, you know? You have to forgive yourself for choosing to stay in states where you are willing to lose everything or where you have lost everything, because there's so many people who stay in situations where ultimately they stay so long where they lose everything. I was there. I did it. Trust me, it sucks like hell. It's not fun, but at the end of the day, there's a lesson to be learned in such situation. And if you had to go through the trenches, if you had to go through rough waters, if you had to lose everything for you to become the best version of yourself, then that just means that your blessing is going to be 10 times bigger. You know, you're a little bit stubborn, you know, but your blessing is going to become greater than what you could have imagined, you know, because you were able to survive that. You were able to see what it was that you were going through. You were able to move past it, and you were able to forgive yourself. Many people don't know how to forgive, and many people feel that they have to forgive other people, they have to forgive certain situations, and ultimately all you have to do is forgive yourself for allowing yourself not to be the best version of yourself in whatever situation you were in that was holding you back, that was keeping you stagnant, that was keeping you in a state of lack. Forgive yourself, and once you forgive yourself, you can then choose to forgive whatever people or situations, circumstances, because it's ultimately just going to be a given. You're going to forgive these things, but it ultimately starts and ends with you. You are the creator of your own life. You have the power to do whatever it is that you want to do. You have the power to go wherever it is that you want to go. You have the power to decide if you're going to succeed or if you're going to fail. You have the power within you. Stop worrying about outside sources. Stop worrying about what people have done to you. Stop worrying about the circumstances that you feel were not favorable to you, you know? So forgive yourself for whatever it is that you are going through, have been through, so that you can ultimately receive your blessings, not miss out on your blessings, and not miss out on some of the most amazing gifts that are already designed for you. You don't want to miss out on those things, because I promise you, this new decade is going to bring in a lot of blessings for so many individuals, and you want to be on the receiving end of those blessings. Also, I think I said this before, start being on the good side of karma. Karma, as we all know, is real. Karma is something that you cannot run from. I've heard some people say, well, I try to manipulate karma and this, that, and you can't manipulate that bitch. Let me tell you something. She's going to come back on your ass no matter where you are. You can be hiding underneath your bed. She's like the boogeyman that they told you about when you were a child. You know, she don't care where you are, what you're going through. She'll have you going through the ringer, and she just doesn't give a fuck. You know, be on the good on the good side of karma. You know, start doing good for people. Start holding doors open for people. Start giving, you know, compliments to individuals. Just start being a good person. Start being a nice person. And even when someone isn't good or nice to you, that does not mean that you go out and you return the favor. You literally simply just bless them, wish them well. It eats people up it eats situations up when you are in a negative state and you don't give it the reaction that it wants. Always be choosing to be the best version of yourself. Always be choosing to be positive. Always be choosing to be happy. Always be choosing to laugh. Always be choosing to raise your vibrations. Yesterday, my energy was so damn low. I don't know what happened this morning, but I woke up and I'm just like in a great ass mood. To the point where I'm just like, let me get on here and make a YouTube video for someone. So here we are, you know. Do good to others and good will come to you. Be the best version of yourself. Forgive yourself. Move forward. Learn the lessons of the past decade so that the new decade can bring in so many rewards for you that are waiting just for you. All you have to do is go out and grab them.